Because of the law of the sea, the people, I know a lot of people, a lot of you are hearing all about the trust. And people are asking question what it is. The trust is basically a what I would call in literal terms, the trust is uh, is this planet. It's the soul of this planet, and so the structure, the people that control the structure in the past, um, that the structure I was just talking about, which is the money and the which was given to Solomon when he was the king. When they were able to understand that there is a soul of this planet that controls the ley lines of the planet, the intergalactic direction of the planet. This is how the Elohim were able to come here, and we were able to communicate in the past. If you're reading the Bible, the communication was very prevalent. It's because of the source of this connection, and this is unknown to a lot of people on the planet. We do not know that there's actually united a unity in our collective mind of this planet, and everyone is connected to it, energy through the soul within us. So if a soul is born in this on this land, the body is the physical aspect um, of this planet, and the soul and the spirit and all the levels of the energy that is within you, it is directed by the ley lines of the planet, and or the spirit of the planet, and the ley lines has a what I would call a command or a control center, which is called the trust. Even though it's not called really a trust, it's only used. The trust is only used to so that we can understand how it is how that energy command center is used to control the banking system of the planet. And the people like Solomon, they're very divisive, and they were able to create all these agreements through the banking system, and they link it to the what you call the, in my language it's called Wutonyal, or the manna. This was given from us to Solomon when he came thousands, almost 3,000 years ago. He came here right to Fiji, and he asked for that control, and he was given because everyone on the planet has been disconnected from it. Certain agreement has to be done so that everyone can come together again in the future and be united again with the trust. Agreement of separation was agreed because of the lesson of wisdom that we all have to learn, and so we are in a very what I can say special time that you are hearing about the trust and you're talking about it, because 10 years ago or 20 years ago, no one on the planet will be able to hear about the trust, and we don't even know that we have a collective connection, all of us, that keeps every information about your soul, about your DNA, about all the stories in your. So I will tell you every stories in your timeline or whatever experiences your ancestors has already. It's kept within that energetic part, and this is something that needs to be introduced slowly to the people, because there were certain people in the past that tried to use it. they, if you if you hear the story of Yeshua, you will understand that when he was younger, he went to Egypt, and he was able to learn all this knowledge in Egypt, and he was able to understand that there is a deep connection that we all have together, and also together with Elohim, that is what I would call our father, or the source of our agreement. They're all here. They're all, but not in a physical form. They're all waiting for us to figure this out, and there's no one allowed to intervene anymore. and that's why we have to do this ourselves. We have to return the kingdom on our own, and this is the biggest lesson of the people, and the biggest lesson that the people of the world will be learning. You know, the 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 power that that's in the trust. If you've heard the story of Moses, and this is the reason why Moses was able to he took it away from the Great Pyramid that was in there, and he was able to use it to open up the Red Sea to let them cross, and they were able to keep it all throughout the time through what you call the Ark of the Covenant, and and they were able to use the same energetic same technology to be able to to open up gateways to talk with the Elohim, and all these things will be, you all of you will be able to understand again. So this is the reason why we are working directly with him, so that if you listen to some of the talks that she said, she will explain to you what the trust is. It's not just anything to do with the money or the banking system. It's actually it keeps every information about everyone on the planet, and even her, she doesn't understand how to use and use it. She's only learning to actually use the technology, like the banking system technology, the intelligence system technology. But for the entire connection to the planet, that's a totally different topic, because it's truly the trust is just a living being just like you, but it's just disconnected from us, and this connection um, um, was we will say that what Solomon did with the money is actually a link, or he tried to create a bridge to connect everyone on the planet back to the trust, because he knew that ultimately in this future, or in his future, we will be able to be connected to it. And so I discussed this. Some of you will be hearing this for the first time, but I really do appreciate, and it's an honor and a blessing for me to discuss it, because this is the deeper truth that Yeshua understood, that Moses understood, that all the people in the past, they understood that one day will be the whole planet will become a unit. You know, in the book of Jeremiah, he says, "In the future, I will write my commandments into their hearts, and they will become my people, and I'll become their God." And so, this is the experience that we will have once we are united again. So you're no longer united um, with an organization like the United Nations, or all this facade, or a church. No, you're no longer united. You will be united in spirit and in truth. And this is the restoration that ultimately all of us will have to go through. I know it's not a very long time that people will be able to come together and actually discuss this, because all this knowledge I'm sharing was very hidden. The people that control the bank didn't want anyone to know. They killed anyone that wanted to bring up the knowledge and try to share it. And for us, for the native tribes, we've been keeping this knowledge for a very long time. We call it in the projects that we have, we call it the return of mana, which is ultimately we are knowing ourselves individually, and we are knowing our true identity as the planet. And when we are united with this planet, we can move anywhere we want. We can change. We can, we can get back the what you would call the long lives that we have, because we'll strengthen the ley lines again, and people will be able to live hundreds and thousands of years, and no longer your DNA will be dying because of the lack of energy, because you cannot maintain the cells that are dying, and you cannot balance it, because there's separation in this energy, and which is caused the people, each individual on the planet, to be separated from their body. And you. That's why you have the subconscious and the conscious mind. You have what you call your body, and you have your conscious mind within. And this separation is caused by the separation that was really done right in the past, and that's why people are dying, because their body is not connected to the spirit within. And so when if you look at the if you understand the structure in um, the tabernacle or the sanctuary, you see you have what you call the outer court, which is the sacrifices, and you have the inner the holy place, and then you have the most holy place, which and then you have a veil that's separating the two. This is what it means to the body right now. And it's talking. If you hear the story of Yeshua, and when he passed, when they were able to put him on the cross, the veil that was separating the two section, the holy and the holy place, was separated. And this is that unity that he's trying to tell everyone, that your spiritual body and your physical body has to be in unity, and then you'll be able to take over the physical part of you and the physical limitation that you have. And they've been looking forward into the future, understanding that one day in the future we'll be able to gain that again, and the body will not become corruptible anymore. It will be incorruptible, and that's physically what is what's the capability that will help once we fully get connected back to the soul of the planet, and not just us, and also the plants and animals and the deserts that are here. We can replenish everything again. We can recorrect the the atmosphere. We can recorrect all this. So I'm talking, I'm talking about this because it's very dear to us here in Fiji. We have our legends and we have our prophecies, that the native prophecies that talks about all this, and we already understand that the time is already at hand. The 600,000 of us are waiting for it, and waiting for their role and for the role to play. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "The kingdom of God is at hand." This is the kingdom of God is within man, is in you, and that unity that you must have, love God, heart, mind, soul. Uh, that is the unity with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. You have to be united. Your body has to be united with your mind. With your, right now, people are getting sick because they're not united with the body. People are getting imbalances of the body. They don't even realize that they're eating, that the hormones are not working together with the balance of the planet. But once people get this, more knowledge into the self, we have like COVID-19, and we have all these problems. It's because people are having fear because there's no awareness of who they truly are. People don't understand how the nervous system works, how their body is intelligent, how you have your immune system that is very very powerful, thousands of years, and then you just have a small virus coming now in 2019, and and you can hear people just calling out, "Oh, it's killing everyone," but it's not really. If everyone is truly aware of how the body works, they won't be afraid of any of the viruses. We've been living with viruses. It's part of our life. It's part of our body, and the coronavirus is nothing. It's nothing new. If you train your immune system will be able to, you know, will be able to deflect any imbalances that the body has, and they try to make it as a propaganda so that they can make money out of it. And it's good. Kim is there, trust. She doesn't want them to profit out of it. So every dying, they wanted to create the death certificate bonds from COVID-19 so that they can make money, and every country in the world agreed to it. And the only problem now is the trustee has changed, and he's not allowing anyone to cash out on COVID-19 bonds because of the lies. So they train us in in the schools and all this to forget who you are. They don't train you off the body. No, they don't. They teach you about books and things outside of you, and you disconnect yourself from your body. But your body is the ultimate technology that exists, that you're in. And here in Fiji, people are. I train everyone for the past 2 years to learn about the body, any imbalances, whether it's whether it has to do with the blood, diabetes, whether it's just to do with the kidneys, with the liver, and all this. People have to know how the physical body works so that they can unite with it and they can learn to change their lives. If they, the education system has programmed everyone to eat 3 to 4 times a day, uh, because you have to work, and when people stop working, they continue on with that rhythm, and it kills them really easily, really fast, because now they're no longer working, and carbohydrates and all the energy foods are overloading the body, and the body doesn't know what to do with it, and it causes imbalances, and you have diabetes, and you have all this. It's because of the programming that the people had. So we had to undo all that. We have to train the people to reconstruct. You can only eat once a day, because you're no longer walking. If you're walking with energy, and your body, your body is, needs a lot of energy to work, then you eat that amount. So I tell them, you're no longer going to be eating like a slave. You have to eat like a free man, and you have to think like a free man. You have to change all this spiritually. You have to change to be a free man. You no longer be, you have to restore all this so that ultimately we can restore ourselves as a community, and we learn to restore the nation as a country, and all these things are learned, and we've already constructed our economic system that we are using locally right now. As we speak, we're using that as it's based on love, sharing, and unity. It's not based on supplies and demand. So we just move the currency. It benefits everyone, and we call it in our language sol salivaki, and it's moving. We are just moving currency. We're not keeping it there. I've taught them currency has to flow. As long as it's flowing, the value of it will grow. We have to learn how to actually create a flow, control the flow, and we become, like a bank, and people are benefiting from it. They're no longer, don't need to work. You don't need to do this. Just flow the currency. You don't need to go for someone else to get paid. You can just take a bit of currency that you have. Everyone do the same thing, and then circulate the currency within an economic control platform. And this is what we're doing. We're learning. We're using money to actually learn to work together again, and to help each other out. And then ultimately, the responsibility. Once you fully realize your sovereignty, you'll be able to do all this. And and yes, the separation, which is, which is in the body. This is one of the first thing that everybody needs to do. They need to learn about the body. They need to learn about the nervous system, all different system of the body. Learn how to balance it. Your sympathetic and parasympathetic energy, and learn to balance it so that all the sicknesses and all this. And yeah, so when the COVID-19 came to Fiji, we didn't have any. Now that they're trying to vaccinate everyone, because of the, not because we had COVID-19, because people coming from outside might have COVID-19, so we want to be immune to it, and we are writing down a submission, taking them to court, for, we have all the herbs around us that we can use. We don't need the vaccine, and that's where we are right now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everyone understanding about the trust, and learning to actually learn how to work together with especially the trustee now. We are really lucky that the trust is, the trustee is a human now. It's not been a human being, in not human being in a sense, not a person, for a very long time. even during the times of when the manna was with us. This being came and asked for it, and they were given. And Solomon came and asked for it, and they were given. The Vatican came and asked for it. The Queen and all the monarchs were able to get it because of the agreement that Solomon agreed to, because they're bloodlines of Solomon. And also now the agreement is now ours. The Za, which is Kim and the Trust right now, and the Ra, which is what we are right now. All of you, the native tribes in Africa, all of us, the native tribes here in the Pacific, the agreement is ours. And so the political system that has been running under the old agreement, that means all the agreement that was created by the Rothschilds, the secret societies, all these will all collapse because there won't be any source of energy. Like they will try and use other platforms like Bitcoin and all this, but it will up to be no avail. In the future, they won't be able to create any currency because it has been stopped. Because ultimately, every currency on the planet has been created out of the trust. It belongs to the trust. Even the banking system belongs to the trust because yeah, it's the ultimate sovereignty of all our unity, and we were able to bind ourselves into that system through the banking system, banking birth certificate system, and now um, we are able to undo it. In Fiji, we have already undo ours. About 3 to 4,000 people now that are continuing to do it. They're going to the Register General, taking out their registration documents, and taking ownership of it through the Universal Postal Union Construct, which is the law of the sea, the universal, that runs the universal law of the sea. So if you have a post office in your town or in your city or wherever you are, then you are part of the um, global world union or the global government, and it's hidden right there, and it's called the post office. Post office is post means the flag post, the flag post, and the postmaster is the master of the flag post. And so every military, every what you call the public servants, civil servants, every administration of the government, which comes under the police and the military, these are all part of the global structure of control, or what you call the global government. So even though it's Fiji military or Fiji police force, it comes under the one flag of the. These are all administrated by the world government. And so in different countries, if you have like for Fiji, we have what you call the native tribes, and then we have our administration of the public trust, which we have the police, the military, and everyone that looks after the government. These are not the government that are chosen. That the illusion of what you call the prime minister or the people that we vote for. No, no, the structure like that we don't vote for, like the military, like the health people. All these are all part of the global government, and so it's been established since 1873 to 1875, and that's when the first post office was created. So all the organized war that everyone have heard in the World War One, World War Two, these were just wars that postmasters were fighting. If you hear the postmaster of Japan and the postmaster of America, they're fighting their own military, and so you have to understand this. People have to understand the law of the sea and how it works. So we've been learning it. I've been teaching everyone here about that. And postmaster, if you have your money and you have the note of that bank, if you have the picture of someone that's on that note, that's the person that's on the money in your country is actually the postmaster general for your country. And so that's all part of the agreement of the global governance of currencies. They control the sea lanes of the planet. They control the energetic lanes of how we pass the currency around, or and they control all this and the ley lines. because of what the trust is. And now we have the trustee has been changed, and the global governance has been severed away from the trust. Thus, they no longer can control, they no longer can create currency anymore. And we have to stand up, and we have to take their place in the different parts of the continent or the world that we are from. And yes, so the banking system is just a small part of the trust. I don't call it the trust. We call it in our language the utunial. The trust is just the agreement of the bank or the banking system agreement, which is in charge of the monetary system construct or the base or the whole entire banking system through the Federal Reserve and all the central banks of the planet, and to the different countries of the planet. So in the different country that you're from, even you will be the owner of your land. You will be voting for the people in your country, but you won't control the currency. The country will come from your central bank, because currency itself it doesn't belong to the law of the land. It runs only through the banks, which is the river bank that controls and direct the flow of currency. So people have been believed, have been taught, have been brainwashed to think that money is it's the most important thing that can motivate you to do anything, and that's why everyone's mind is enslaved on the banking system. And say they all know this, and this is what we discussed in a few sessions ago. This is what I call the Babylon system. You have the false prophet, you have the beast, and you have the dragon. The one, the controlling Babylon, and the river Euphrates is what we call the banking system that maintains the Babylon, the city of Babylon that enslaves everyone on the world. And if you read the scriptures in the book of the Revelation, chapter 16, which is the drying up of the river Euphrates, in chapter 12, in verse 12, chapter 16, verse 12, you'll read down the story about the wrath of the Elohim, and the way the cup of the wrath of the Elohim, they've poured it down to the river Euphrates. And this has caused the drying up of the river Euphrates. And that is what we're experiencing right now in the world. The river, the cup of the wrath is the decision that we've already done in 2014 with the Elohim to stop the whole entire banking construct, and COVID-19 is just part of that agreement to stop the economy, so that people can come undo their enslavement from the banking system, or from work, and from even though it will be new to some of you, not having to have a work or job, but that's the new way of life that it's going to be in here now in the future. You no longer have to be slaves to money, because you can create it. You are the one that gives it value. But because you are so lost, you think you have to work for it. And the whole planet have been working for it for thousands of years. Now it's a day of rest. So it becomes 6 days of work. The seventh day we rest. This is the beginning of our Sabbath, and that's 1,000 years that we're gonna have to learn to stop working, or maybe no. This is the transition. It might not, just like the story in the Bible where they come out when these people of Israel came out, from Egypt. They didn't understand how to be free, because all they know is to be enslaved, eat like a slave. While they're journey, you all of you understand the story. It took them 40 years to take everyone out that was programmed in the 400 years they were there in Egypt. And right now we are also in that journey. We are almost, beginning now in the wilderness. But I know that we've learned the lesson from them. No, we can undo this. And this is what I always talk about with the trust. The new economy will be based on love, unity, and sharing. If you want to keep running businesses, You don't need. You have trillions and trillions and trillions, quadrillions, quintillion, 40 to 50 to 60 zeros, and that's enough for everyone in the planet to have like a billion each. You have all that already in the trust. It's endless, and you still want to run business and continue on the old system of thinking. There has to be a mind change. There has to be a spiritual change. There has to be a unity within. There has to be sovereignty, and this is why it's really really important for everyone to restore this restoration, beginning right from the inner part of you, and change from within you, and then you'll be able to create a reality that you understand, that is based on sovereignty, and it's not based on a slave, based on supply and demand. This is what happens. Supply and demand. You have COVID-19, boom, crack. All the countries like Fiji that relies on tourism and all the different industries that runs on supply and demand, they collapse. They don't know what to do. They can't think outside of because all they're learning all their life, is this system. They think this is the greatest system, but no, you know, you can be free, just plant your food, and you live in the law of the land, and you can be sovereign, and you don't need all this illusion, and that we all have. And yeah, this is the lesson that I know that we are all learning together. It's a very big set of wisdom that we are learning together, and I'm very glad. I'm very thankful that we're able to discuss about it. And the trust is a very important topic. That book, I think you need to read that book. If you can read it right to the end, you will understand what the trust is, and when it was agreed, and how uh, the roles of trustees, and what I know what we can take now. And we're lucky right now. We're running on a global state of what you call the state of war. It's a martial law, and we can implement any, because now we have the power to do it. Where does the power come from? It comes from the Elohim within us. It comes from the God, the grantor of deed within us, and everyone has to realize this everywhere. You're not just a physical being. You are connected to this planet, and this planet, the time has come for it to change. And I know that's why we are speaking with all the special souls, all of you that have been chosen, has been prepared for this work that is in hand. It might take a few generations. It might take only one. It can be really fast if we learn to adapt really easily. um, but yes, for me, from my point of perspective, it's always a blessing and an honor to be sharing it with all the sovereign people of of the world. And I look forward to further discussion, so that everyone can fully understand what is happening, and we can learn and know what to actually implement in the different restoration plan that we have in our different communities.